This is video 1 of my BPD journey. So in the past few months, I've had a turnaround and I've kind of fully accepted that I am dealing with BPD. I found out a year ago that I might have BPD and I had never heard of it. Okay, I had heard of it actually because I studied psychology. Because I always knew that I was struggling mentally. So I studied psychology in high school, my junior year. Knew I was going to major in that and majored in it my college. So had heard of it. Never really aligned. I didn't know much about it, and we didn't learn very much about it. My roommate's best friend had it, and after living with roommates for a few months and struggling very much, she said, "I think you have this." I was 27, now I'm 28. I have gone to college, and during college I had roommate situations. Those were also a struggle. At that time, I didn't really speak up for my needs and more so lacked in relationships by just not interacting or just never feeling close to anyone. And my roommate situations were very different, unique, and interesting, and I won't get into that right now. So my very first legit roommate situation is this year, and it's been immensely challenging. And if it wasn't for this, I would not have sought help for BPD. Thinking about it, I realized that ever since I was 6 years old, I've had a fear of abandonment. And I'm not sure why I might have had these like irrational thoughts and fears at such a young age. But in the past like year or two, I've realized that moving from Iran to America when I was 6 and leaving my family, all of a sudden, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know we were leaving for good and moving. I didn't know what that was. My teachers told me I'm coming back, but we left. We left all of our loved ones. And I just remember in second grade, going to school, being friends with someone one day, and the next day being like, "Are you still going to be my friend tomorrow?" And I just remember asking, like, and in our neighborhood when we would play with the kids, I would ask my friends, "Are you still going to be my friend? Can you be my friend tomorrow?" And that's the earliest thing I remember of feeling like someone's not going to stay my friend. I remember never really being able to have close relationships, never feeling close to anyone, always feeling alone, not getting along with my family, not feeling loved, intense self disapproval and hatred. Struggled with every single thing that could be a symptom of borderline, like comorbid disorders, throughout my middle and high school and college. And never really understood that there could be something that I was like a thing, an actual name for something that for what I'm struggling with. And it sucked. I would get really close to someone and it wouldn't last very long. I had a best friend once when I was in 10th grade. I really loved her, and it's been a long time. And she sort of ditched me once, and I was so distraught and upset. I stopped talking to her, and she was sad, and I was sad. But I was really hurt and didn't know how to handle it and tell her. And that is how a lot of my relationships ended. I never really kept a friend longer than a year. My mom always commented how my friends are constantly changing and she never really gets to know my friends. It's like, yeah, well, doesn't that suck for me too? I almost made a song once about 3-week guys. Felt like I never could have a romantic relationship or even be interested in someone for longer than 3 weeks. Um, Things have changed. I've been in a on and off partnership for the past 3 years, and it has been the causes of some of the most intense pains of my entire life. Having roommates has been a dark night of the soul many times. I felt like I was causing people pain. I was bringing negativity into the world. All I've ever wanted is to be loved and to love and to bring joy and consciousness, awareness into the world, and to feel that I was doing the opposite of that, bringing darkness and agony and sickness into the world. That was really bad, really bad. My roommates were calling me manipulative, and like I was an outlier. I was the cause of all their problems consistently. And I had to take a look. I had to seek help. I called a therapist crying. I like was hurting, and I've been seeing a therapist for like 8 months now, 7 months. Thank God I have insurance. I am in a single session and a group class, and I go as often as I can. In the past 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, have more so accepted that I am struggling with a mental illness. I hated the idea of saying that. I hated it. And even when I went to therapy, and so my partner and I are long distance. When I was not with him and I wasn't having roommate drama, all felt fine, and I was so high functional. And I would go to therapy and be like, I just don't think I need therapy anymore. And I shouldn't be going to therapy. Like, I'm good. I have meditation and yoga and I have all the skills. I'm really good. And then a trigger would happen. My partner would come to town, or I would go see my parents. And I am this person that I don't even know. I'm like a monster. And that was really hard to integrate. I felt like I was in a better place than ever, but then constantly a trigger or this and that. And then I'd be like, who is this person? And I'm finally like, understand now that I'm learning so much about BPD. It makes me cry learning about it. It hurts a lot that I've been struggling this long and it's been invisible, and that I didn't have hope. I thought I was disgusting and awful and hated myself for my outbursts and for years and years of how I've treated my mother, and basically don't have a relationship with my father. And learning about BPD and the symptoms has taken a lot of pressure off of me and given me hope that I could heal, because if I know what it is and how to get the tools, and that it is a mental illness, there's such thing as mental health, and I could be healthy. And that's been a huge shift. So I will continue updates because it is a journey and a process, and I'm finally learning to integrate that sometimes I can be very high functioning and spiritual and creative and lovely and kind, and sometimes I am like this diva, devil, Cruella, intentionally want to hurt people kind of person. And that to me made no sense, but now I get it. And I'm learning to accept it, accept myself. And getting into acting has been a tremendous part of my healing journey. And I'm grateful. And that's it for now.